And we say good morning to you. We're live again at Champion Chevrolet on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, show number 521. Good morning to you. Thank you for being with us. We're here again, the home of Tim Copenhaver. Andy Dietrich is not here today. I don't know. I asked him, do we go ahead and do the show? He said, can we be mad at him? I said, yeah, we can be mad at him. So we're mad at Andy because he's not here today. And so we're going to pick up and run anyway and do the best we can do without the man, the myth, the legend, co-owner Andy Dietrich here at Champion Chevrolet. So Tim is mad at him. I'm mad at him because Andy's not here. So, Andy, shame on you for missing the Tom Sports Show. I'm doing my best, Tim, to wear him out. We're both mad at him, right? Yeah. Tim says, where? Hey, what? Tim says it's a lot smoother when he's not here. Bless, he's hard. Bless it. My mama used to say right before she whipped me, bless it. We say good morning to you. We're loaded for bear. We've got Ryan Presnell, the Elizabethton head baseball coach, going to join us. We're going to also be joined by Ken Harden, the Lady Cyclone softball coach. He'll be by phone. Carmichael joins us. Ryan Wagner, head baseball coach at Dobbins. Been a big win for the Indians last night. They're playing in the sectional tomorrow night at home at J. Fred Johnson Stadium. We'll hear from Coach Wagner a little bit later on. Also, we've got Kevin Harmon with UT Sports Update as always. Got some big news coming out of Knoxville in a couple of different sports at UT, and he'll give us the very latest on that later in the show. And then we'll also hear from, coming up here in just a second, Chris Van Dyke's on his way in. Again, he will be here on behalf of Kingsport Speedway. And, of course, the late model NASCAR driver, Chris Van Dyke, he's going to stop by here and join us here coming up in just a few minutes. As we always say, by the way, we got a big announcement coming up next week. I was telling Tim about it off air, and Tim got excited, and I'm excited because Tim's excited. And, of course, have the utmost respect for he and Andy. Tim says we get along better when he's not here. I love it. They actually get along like they're just cutting up with each other. Good stuff here at Champion Chevrolet. We always start our show by dedicating it to the man who hung on the cross. We unashamedly tell you that. And we'll start with the book of Psalms. It says, Psalms 121, a verse of the day says, look up, your help comes from me, the maker of heaven and earth. I will not let your foot slip. I will watch over you day and night. This is the Lord talking about you and I, folks. I will watch over you day and night. I will keep you from harm, both now and forevermore. Hit that bell. Good stuff. Again, that's our verse of the day to get us started. We always dedicate this show to the Lord, and it'll go as far as he wants it to go. And again, when we get all the I's dotted and the T's crossed, you'll find out that he's taking it to the next level. Not me, it's him, so got to give him proper credit. Our show brought to you by Grip Energy Drink. Again, we've got lemon lime. Here they are right here. In fact, I brought in some today for samples, and here is the pink grapefruit. Can't beat it. Also the lemon lime. We also have the pineapple. Maybe root beer. I drank it all, so don't have any of the pineapple left. There you go. And also the lemon lime flavor. All these available again at your local Food City. We'll be at Food City tomorrow for the Midnight Madness sale. Here's the cheat sheet, if you will. There's all the different drinks. You have white grape, lemon lime, pineapple, root beer, and pink grapefruit. Again, these are all natural ingredients. Vitamin B, biotin, niacin, vegan friendly. Again, they're coming out at the end of the month with a sugar-free orange and a sugar-free pink grapefruit. So it's all good. And again, our title sponsor, you see on the screen, Grip Energy Drink. We're live at Champion Chevrolet. Tim said, tell them about the discount on the trucks. I said, whoa. He said, check it out. On 2017 Silverado 1500s, this is a double cab 4x4 All-Star. Not only is it not $10,000, they've whacked it off another $1,000. You're going to save $11,000 off a 2017 Silverado 1500 here at the number one Chevy dealer in the state, Champion Chevrolet. 2017 Silverado 1500 double cab 4x4 All-Star, saving $11,000 off this truck. Also have the 2017 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab All-Star. This is not the 4x4, but it is the Crew Cab All-Star nonetheless. You're saving, they put another $1,000 savings on that. You're going to save $11,000 off the 2017 Silverados, 1500 Crew Cab All-Stars. And also, he said to tell you that there is a select few of Malibus left that are 25% off here. Of course, Malibu is the nameplate for Chevrolet for many, many, many years, obviously. These are the Malibu LTs. Is it LT, Tim? LS or LT. So there you go. Select of those, 25% off again here at Champion Chevrolet. Love coming over here every Thursday, and we have a lot of fun here. And of course, great place for our guests to come by and sit in this beautiful showroom here on the Bristol Highway Motor Mile in Johnson City. We'll take our first break, come back, we'll take a look at Major League Baseball. what happened last night at the Bigs and their schedule for today. Give you the scoreboard from last night, all that right here again at Champion Chevrolet. Coming up, our first guest will be, in just a few minutes, Ryan Presnell, head baseball coach of the Elizabethton Cyclones. Cyclones lose last night, 4-2, so we travel tomorrow night to Pigeon Forge. They've put that game back to 7:15, which means we can get there to call the game tomorrow night. Again, we had over 2,500 views last night. We had folks from Maryland, Carolyn Hurst in Maryland, the Dewar family, D-U-E-R, from Alabama was listening. We appreciate that. Shirley Wetzel down in Florida. Of course, had a lot of folks in the Tri-Cities listening to the broadcast. We appreciate that very much. Dave Angie helped me out last night from the Johnson City Press. He was there for a couple of innings, so it was all good and fun broadcast. And so we'll take the show on the road, and we'll be, as we said, traveling down to Pigeon Forge tomorrow night, take on that team, getting ready for that big ball game tomorrow evening. Again, Pigeon Forge and Elizabethton. If you win that one, you head off to the state tournament next week in Murfreesboro. And if you lose, of course, you're done for the year. In fact, we'll recap all those games and Major League Baseball next here from Champion Chevrolet, show number 521 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show, brought to you by Grip Energy Drink.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
The deals are heating up for Truck Month at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. Over 300 new Chevys to choose from, all with incredible savings. $11,000 off MSRP on 16 Silverado All-Star Crew Cabs. Check out the savings online at championjc.com. 16 Silverado Crew Cab, $33,685. 16 Track, $17,460. 16 Equinox, $21,615. 16 Traverse, $27,365. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game. Birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back with the Tom Douglas Sports Show. We are live again at Champion Chevrolet. You see in the camera behind us, Chris Van Dyke's going to join us coming up in a few minutes, a NASCAR late model driver from the Speedway. And, of course, we'll see what's going on in his world. I can tell you it's winning, winning, winning. That's what he's doing. Let's go to the phone. He's there, our baseball coach from the Elizabethton Cyclones, Coach Ryan Presnell. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Man, I'm good. How about you, buddy?
Baby, I'm just living the dream. How about those Cyclones? Man, they played their hearts out last night and we lose 4-2, but recap that game last night for Elizabethton, would you please?
Yeah, just a tough, gritty game where every run is gold, and this time of year you start to see the pitching starts to really come around and become very tough to produce runs against. We get down by 2, kind of made it difficult on us. We're down by 1, a little bit easier, but 2 is difficult against that kind of quality pitching. So, guys really battled. Corey Russell coming in relief. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, very impressive. Young man just throwing stuff that really the number one team in the state just didn't have an answer for. So, we've got a lot of things going good for us, especially this time of year. Got a lot of fresh arms that have not thrown a lot of innings that we've kind of saved towards this kind of tournament play. So, I was really proud of my guys how they handled themselves. A very tough baseball game, physically and mentally, and they never lost their composure, their focus, and just looked like a veteran team out there that's done this before, when in all actuality, that's not the case. So we're looking forward to Friday.
You got it. Again, we're talking to Coach Presnell. So from a pitching standpoint, you pitched Garrett Hartley on Monday. Now, I can't keep up with this pitch count thing. It's too confusing with the old man. So can he pitch tomorrow night? Would you pitch him tomorrow night? I know Brody's done because he's pitching on last night. So what is the rule, and how does that work?
Well, basically the rule is that Garrett needed 3 days of rest. We kept his pitch count way down on Monday to do that on purpose. What I will say to you is his arm health is very important to the staff, especially for a young man getting ready to sign a college scholarship here in a couple of weeks. So we'll be very intelligent. Our thing is, though, Tom, I got other guys.
Sure.
So clearly Garrett is one of the best pitchers from here to Knoxville. But at the end of the day, I think I got some young guys that are ready to take that mantle over when Garrett graduates and leaves. So get them in there, and we don't have an answer yet. We're still looking at some scouting reports and some information before we make the final call. But there's going to be a lot of guys figuring into the plan tomorrow.
Exactly. No holes barred. You got to win that game to get to the state tournament next week. So give me the scouting report. Again, we're talking to Ryan Presnell, head baseball coach. You see on the screen of Elizabethton, and give me the scouting report on Pigeon Forge, tomorrow night's opponent.
Very tough baseball team. Very disciplined. Very gritty. So, the thing with them is these guys have been there and done it. And so this is a program that when I took over, that you look at and you say, kind of want to be like those guys. And so for us to be at this point in the year going down to play them at their place is big for us as a program. We get to see what it is we want to do. What I will tell you is I think we match up well. It's one of those things where you look across the field and you kind of see yourself over there, especially even down to the colors. So at the end of the day, I think we match up well. And, from here on out, we're not going to see any baseball teams that aren't really good. So Pigeon Forge, very experienced, very good, very gritty. A lot of pitchers that have some pretty good velocity. So it's going to be a tough game, but one that we're up for.
There you go. It's a 7:15 first pitch tomorrow night. So that gives the Elizabethton and the Tri-City fans a chance to head down to Pigeon Forge. I would start out earlier if I were you. Heading into Pigeon Forge on Friday night would probably be a little interesting to say the least. So get down there early and support these kids. They deserve it. And hey, we roll the dice, see what happens. We're 7-3. We're 21 outs away from the state tournament, right?
Absolutely. And our kids, they've worked really hard to have this opportunity. And you take a loss last night, but here's the thing. You took a loss to probably arguably the number one team in the state, team that's beat some good 3A teams to include Science Hill. So at the end of the day, if anything, that's a loss where we feel strengthened, we feel confident by it. We're right there at the end. A couple of things go differently. I think we're a winning ball club after that game. So these kids are confident, they're happy, and they're playing with stress-free baseball right now, and nothing gets to them. So that's kind of a good compliment for tournament baseball.
Coach, we'll give another call tomorrow, get another preview. You'll have done more homework on Pigeon Forge. You'll know more about their team, so we'll call you tomorrow and promote these Cyclones again. So have a great Thursday. I'll talk to you tomorrow, Cyclone Pride, all right?
Cyclone Pride, brother.
You got it. Good man right there. Ryan Presley, the head baseball coach of the Elizabethton Cyclones. He's top shelf in my book. I'm telling you, this guy, he loves his kids, and it shows. And so 7:15 tomorrow night, I think we can get down and call this game. Pigeon Forge and Elizabethton, that's the plan. And, of course, before we get Chris on, let's run them down here real quick and tell you who played last night and who did what. I know, I got to put my glasses on. It kind of happens. Quit laughing at me over there, guy. You'll be there one day. There you go. Ring that old bell. He'll be there one day. You wait and see. He'll go. Back in the old geezer, had the glass on.
I remember them.
I remember that. There you go. Single A last night. North Green defeated Hampton 8-3. This is baseball. As we heard, Greenville doubled up the Cyclones 4-2 in Double A ball. Dobbins been a big win over Jeff County 7-1. We're going to talk to Ryan Wagner coming up later in the show here. Head baseball coach at Dobbins Minute. In Southwest Virginia last night, it's not tournament play, but Abington beat Holston 3-2, and Gate City disposed of Honaker 10-3. Again in the sectional round coming up tomorrow, it'll be North Green hosting Grace Christian out of Knoxville. The Hampton Bulldogs travel to Greenback tomorrow night. In Double A, as you know, the Elizabethton Cyclones will follow them to Pigeon Forge to battle that ball club, and then CAK will be in Greenville. Greenville gets to deal with that 97-mile-per-hour pitcher for CAK. Tim, what's the kid's name? Is it Slider? Oh, he's on the phone. All right. Slider, I believe is his name, the kid from CAK. Elizabeth doesn't have to worry about him because we got our hands full of Pigeon Forge. They're there for a reason. As Coach just said, there are no cream puffs at this point. If you win tomorrow night, you go to the state tournament. AAA, Maryville at Dobbins Minute tomorrow night, and Jeff County travels to Farragut to battle the Admirals. That's in baseball. Softball, last night, Unaka's Lady Rangers defeat North Green 5-0. Elizabethton down 5-0. We're going to talk to Coach Hart a little bit later on in the show. The Lady Cyclones rally to beat Unicoi County 10-6. Morristown East doubles up Cherokee 10-5 in softball in Tennessee. So tomorrow night in the sectionals there in single A softball, Unaka hosting Tellico Plains. North Green will be at Meigs County. In Double A, the Elizabethton Lady Cyclones home to Union County. Unicoi County travels to CAK. And in Triple A softball, Morristown East will be hosting Gibbs, and Cherokee, the Lady Chiefs, go to Knox Powell. That's coming up again tomorrow night. Those winners, at this point, if you win tomorrow night, you move on to the state tournament next week in baseball, softball, and Murfreesboro. If you lose, of course, your season is over. Here he is on the screen, my man, Chris Van Dyke, the NASCAR late model driver from Kingsport Speedway, with us here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We will get to Major League Baseball coming up here in just a few minutes. I told you we would earlier, but Chris came in, and he's here for a little while, and he's got to move on. And what's going on, big dog? I haven't talked to you for a while.
Oh, man, it's a lot been going on. Been staying pretty busy, and but you know that. I mean, been trying to get down here. You got back on the show here for, I don't know, a couple weeks now. But, yeah, I just been doing events with Food City and with all the racing going on, and just keeps us pretty tied up.
This guy's a whirlwind. I think, and he's dead, I think I get a better chance getting Elvis on here than I get Chris, because this guy is on the move. It's like, can I get you this week? No, not this week. I'm testing. Boom. How about next week? I'm going to make a personal appearance somewhere. I can't. So this guy is on the move. That's good. That means he's successful, because when you're a winner, everybody wants you to come to their place and hang out with him. And, of course, he's been doing a lot of personal appearances through Food City with Grip Energy Drink, our title sponsor of the show. And Al has got him moving everywhere he can get him. But on the track, tell me so far what's been going on for you, the late model driver at Kingsport Speedway.
Everything's been going pretty good. You know, we had a pretty successful start this year so far. You know, we've ended up with 7 wins out of 9 races, and you know, things have been going pretty decent. Just keeping the car in the right direction and staying out of trouble, keeping the nose clean, and you know, just trying to keep the ball rolling.
7 wins out of 9 races.
Mm-hmm.
So you've won 7 times already.
Yeah.
So you're 7-2.
7-2, 2 seconds.
Wow. In 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Wow. So what's the success? I mean, obviously you know what you're doing out there, and you've got a good car and great sponsors to make it happen. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the driver. Just like on the Cup Series and Xfinity, you can throw all the money at them as you want to, but at the end of the day, it's the guy, or in Danix's case, the lady behind the wheel, driving that machine. So what do you attribute your success to, winning 7 out of 9 so far?
Just, you know, at the end of the season last year, you know, we didn't take our vacations, or you know, we didn't take a break till the first of the year. You know, we actually dug back in the very next week like we were racing the next week. And, you know, I've said it numbers of times, you know, the car don't get better sitting in the garage. You know, you got to lay hands on it, and, you know, you got to turn wrenches, and you got to make speed, find speed, and, you know, there's speed in the car, you just got to find it. And, you know, over the winter we found a lot of speed and just detailed the car out, and the small details ends up being pretty big speed. And, you know, broke out this year, did some testing, and pretty early, and everybody's just like, "You're gonna wire your stuff out, man. You're just wiring your stuff out." I was like, "No, it's all right. Just it'll be all right." And at the first race, second race, third race, fourth race, everything's just laid in place, and it's what we worked hard for, and now it's showing.
Proof's in the pudding, as they say back home. Again, 9 races out so far this season. He's won 7. I'll take that. That's a 7. I don't know what that batting average is. That's pretty strong. It's way up over 80%, obviously. So, talking to Chris Van Dyke again. There is no race this weekend tomorrow night at Kingsport Speedway because everybody's going to be, or a lot of the folks, going to be at Bristol Motor Speedway for the U.S. Short Track Nationals all day Saturday and Sunday. We were there at the Speedway broadcasting Monday. Rumor has it, can't confirm it. Rumor has it, come Saturday, or rather Sunday, after they race on Saturday night, the Monster Energy All-Star Race, there's been rumors some of the Cup drivers may come up and drive on Sunday. So, number one, Chris, you give a chance to race on the track that everybody wants to race on, Bristol Motor Speedway. And then I know for sure Bubba Wallace is going to be there, and I know for sure Sterling Marlin's going to be there. So if one of these Cup drivers, or a couple of them, fly up here and kind of drop in on the track on Sunday, I mean, that's got to be a really personal high for you guys to be able to go up against these Cup drivers.
Yeah, man. It's just it's always nice to run with the guys, that they're supposed to be the best in the business, and I've always wanted to to race them and actually be right there in the same place and run with them. And it's just, it's when you beat them, you're beating the best, and that's, it makes it feel good. You work hard for it. And, when we're in them same cars, so we're all pretty equal. So, we've put the work in it, and hopefully you can come out on top.
7 out of 9 he's won so far this year, and the other 2 are second place finishes. So have you raced at Lonesome Pine this year too?
Yeah, we ran over there. We actually won 5 of them over there. We've had 5 races, and we've won every one of them. And
okay, let me say, I don't want to take my boots off and embarrass myself. Okay. 7 for 9 at Kingsport and 5 for 5 at Lonesome Pines. That would be 12.
Well, no, it's actually 5 for Kingsport, and we've only had 4 races down at Kingsport. I'm sorry, 5 at the Pine. 4 at Kingsport. I had 2 rainouts already down there. It's been pretty. The rain's beating us overall.
Yeah, weather's winning, but still you got 9 W's all told, right?
Well, no, we got 7 W's altogether.
7 W's
all 5 at the Pine and 2 at Kingsport. 2 out of 4.
There you go. 5 and 2. Still 7 out of 9. We'll take it. So now, when you race at Lonesome Pine, it's a totally different animal than Kingsport Speedway. Tell me about it.
Absolutely. It's once we're done at the track at Kingsport, it's Katie bar the doors, get back to the shop hard as we can, getting everything unloaded, clean the car up, digest what we had that night, and hitting the reset button and getting the Lonesome Pine set up on the car. And it's a different package. You can actually convert the same package to the Pine and work it, but I think to be the ultimate, the best you can be, we'd have to do a lot of changes, and the changes worked pretty good over the Pine, man. We got a good high line going over there, and it's a unique line. Actually, me and Danny O'Quinn, I think Fincham ran it, Stiltner and them ran it over there a couple years ago. Had a heck of a race, man. It was awesome, and once we started running that high line in, it's a pretty unique place, and you can make up a lot of speed. It makes you look like you got 50 more horsepower than a lot of them guys. It's tough to handle.
So when you're turning, again, we're talking to Chris Van Dyke. You see on the screen, NASCAR late model driver. Again, we love supporting this guy because he has Grip energy drink all over his car, and also Food City. By the way, we'll be at Food City tomorrow at Volunteer Parkway for the Midnight Madness sale. So
I'm going to go down there here in just a little bit and set up down here in Piney Flats. We're going to do a Grip event down there as well.
Guys
got
everywhere.
The car, we're going to be down there.
It's like traveling with Elvis here. This guy, where are you today? Well, I'm here, I'm over here, I'm over here. And that's okay. That's the name of the game.
That's what it's all about.
I'm getting ready to say this. I'm going to get on my soapbox. This is what the Cup drivers need to do at NASCAR. They've forgotten this, and I can see it up there firsthand at the Speedway. The big boys have forgotten to go out here and press the flesh. I don't know whether they don't think they need to. They're making enough money they don't want to. I don't know what it is. I can't get inside their head, but I promise you, and I say this every time we get on this topic, I've talked to Richard Petty more than once. He will burn up a Sharpie. Wherever he's at, this guy will stand there and sign the last autograph. And I asked him up there one time, I said, King, you don't have to do this. He said, yes, I do. He said, look up there. And we were up down on the start-finish line at the Speedway. He said, look up there. He said, those folks made this race, made this sport. He said, and if we don't take care of them, they'll stop coming. We're not going to have a sport. And he's exactly right. So
amen.
This guy's got it. He's got it figured out because he goes out and presses the flesh. signs the autographs, takes the pictures, and then on Friday night at Kingsport Speedway, you look up in the stands, he's got a big cheering section because he's done it. It's very simple. It's called building relationships. So you're going to be in Piney Flats a little bit later on?
Yeah, that's where we're going to be at. Actually, you brought up that good topic, though, with Petty and everybody. The King, I actually done 2 autograph sessions in the middle of the off-season with him, with Food City and stuff. And, he is amazing with these people. I mean, his fans travel in. You got all kinds of stand-up portraits of him. You got all these people who's got these collectible items, and they bring them in for him to sign. And, I learn a lot by watching him and working with him there, them 2 events. And, he rolls in with his own vehicle. We have no chauffeur. And he comes in, does his thing, and signs continuously and consistent. Everything is down to the T, and it burns the Sharpie up, like you said. But and he'll sit there and talk to you, and I really respected that out of him. I mean, he don't have to, and he don't, but he wants to, and sure. He wants to build a relationship with each every person he touches and listens to and talks to them.
It ain't rocket science, but Chris has got to figure it out. So, again, and this is my own personal opinion, but some of the big stars, not all of them, but some of them forgot the little man, if you will. Yeah, Petty drives up with no entourage, pulls up in his own car, gets out, and says, "Here I am." And
yeah, so wasn't nothing big and fancy flying in on no helicopters or anything. He was rolled in his own vehicle and rolled in there, just sat on the table, hung out, talked. All of us. I mean, it's pretty good.
His mama would say he's country's cornbread. There you go. So,
fine feller.
Yes, sir, he is. And so is this gentleman here. So anyway, you're going to be Piney Flats now. For folks who have not been over to Kingsport Speedway, you're turning laps how fast?
Around 1490s, 15 flats in qualifying. Yeah.
Getting with it. And then over at the Pine?
It's a little bit slower. It's a little bit bigger track, but the track is really wore out. The surface is really abrasive, and you can't really get the forward drive as you need to accelerate, and we're around 16 half-second laps over there. But it's a pretty good sized track, though.
What's really cool about this show is when he's on, I guess Mama does her thing, Mrs. Van Dyke, you well know as Mama, but Mrs. Van Dyke. But the show blows up with people. I guess he like and share it. I'm not real sure how all that works. My guy just says, get over there and talk. I'll take care of the rest of it. So whatever she does or you do, anytime I have you on, there's a lot of response because, again, and I'm not trying to be syrupy and silly, but this is what it's all about. Just go out and shake people's hands, and he does it. And as a result of that, again, Friday night, Kingsport Speedway up in the stands, you got a pile of people cheering you on, right?
Yeah, I mean, we hear them all, whether they like us or not. It's like Dale Earnhardt said, I've got every one of them because I can hear them. And I've got a lot of great fans. It's just that's something. When I first started racing until now. When we used to do the most popular driver of the year stuff, and we won that thing every single year, and we didn't buy it, we didn't, we earned that thing, and we always put on a great show for the people, and I had an opportunity, I'd go to the stands and talk to them, and sit and talk, listen, get advice, whatever, but I put myself out there to listen to them and be there with them. Show them that it was more than just being there at the track and doing our thing. We're there for them as well. They're there for us.
There you go.
And it goes both ways.
Putting fannies in the seats, the name of the game. When do you race again?
I actually will be racing next Friday and Saturday. Due to where I've got one car, I'm not going to be running the Bristol race.
Well, no.
Yeah, I just the risk is a little bit too much to put in jeopardy the season that we've got going right now with the points and everything at these tracks. So I got to kind of play smart ball and be conservative a little bit with these extravaganza races that come into areas. It's not a points race. It's not a NASCAR points race, but it's a supreme race. I'd love to be in part of it and racing with them guys and down with the extreme speeds that the cars are turning. I mean, the Cup cars were fast earlier in the season, when they was down there. But these daggone late models and the super late models has made the Cup cars look like peons.
Yep.
I mean, they are like rolling around that place fast.
Yes. They tested up there last weekend, and they were setting some incredible times up there at Bristol Motor Speedway. And I get that because you got one car, and long term, you want to win the points championship. Again, here local, that shows the consistency all season long. Nothing wrong with racing these special races, but at the end of the season, your goal at the start of the season is win the championship, right?
Absolutely.
Where are you in the points right now?
Actually, we're leading both track points and state Tennessee as well. So,
It's
it's a long year, man. I really don't like dealing with the points, and kind of gets me a little itchy.
Yeah.
I like to just focus on each individual event and maximize everything we can do and make it the best of it. And at the end of the season, all that takes care of itself.
I'm going to make this prediction. Friday night, you're getting revved up, ready to go, and the rain's come and rain's right. You get antsy because am I right? You've hit the start button, Chris, ready to go, and then they cancel it because of rain.
I get so irritated. I mean, it just hits like my hair starts crawling up on my back, and I mean, it's pretty horrific for all the people around because I don't like getting rained out.
Yeah. Mama's got to cool your jets, right? It's like,
yeah,
relax, chill.
Yeah, I like to race, man.
Sure, man. It's in his blood. It's good stuff. Chris Van Dyke. So again, not this week, but next Friday night, back in the saddle, if you will, at Kingsport Speedway, and then
at the jungle,
at the Concrete Jungle next Friday night. So I know you're busy. Tell me the hours you're going to be up at Piney Flats today.
We'll be up there supposedly from 12 to 6 this evening. So anybody wants to come in and give us a shout out and check the car out, we're going to have the car down there on display, and we're going to be giving out free drinks, and hopefully y'all can purchase some drinks and come in and check it out and support both Food City and Grip energy drinks.
So I have 3 of those on the table: pink grapefruit, pineapple, and lemon lime. But only root beer because I drank them all. So.
I know you can't keep the root beers enough for you.
Man,
case at a time.
I'm drinking 3 or 4 at a time. I mean, 3 or 4 a day. I love it. It's good
They're
stuff.
awesome, man. They're good for you, actually, too.
Yeah, they're very much.
Not only the energy they give you, but it's good for your soul and good for your body and everything. It's not got a lot of harm in it.
No, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
All natural ingredients, and getting ready to come out with a sugar-free orange and a sugar-free pink grapefruit. I think Al said Memorial Day weekend or shortly thereafter. So
we're producing it this week as well. This everything should start up this week and get everything in here and get the stuff on the market. And hopefully it's going to roll out here a lot better than it did before because it's some good stuff. Looks good too.
Last thing, selfishly promote your sponsors: Grip Energy Drink, Food City, and who else?
We've got Service Fuel. We've got Burger King. In the Southwest Virginia area. We've got Modern Chevrolet over in Honeacre, J&J Sports Bar and Restaurant in Abilene, which is an awesome place. Got some great specials down there. Italian Village down in Kingsport. Awesome people. Give Enzo a shout out. Love you, buddy. And it's great to be a part of all of them guys. And it just amazes me that every year that all these guys just keep coming back to us. And it's we get people that even ask us to put on the car, and we just we put a lot of support for them. We do a lot of these events and go here, go there, wherever they need. And we're going to set up some events with Italian Village down here in Kingsport as well, doing the same thing we do with Food City, and help promote their stuff. And that's what it's all about. They help us, we help them. Make it good for them as well there, or for us.
Before you go, you better plug your PR girl and your soulmate over there.
Yeah,
you guys both smacked.
Ain't none of this going to ever work. For one thing, the grace of God lets us all be here and make it all happen.
Preach it, brother.
We all have to give him our hats off and a big old applause. But, without the support from my wife and my parents, and, just that's a big role of the whole program. And, it's all got to kind of work together. It don't work at all. It's like a motor. One piece fails, it shuts down. So, we got to keep everything happy and everybody going in the right direction. And, but another thing, man, is this my crew is awesome. And a lot of these guys, get on these talk shows and stuff, they forget about that part, and I don't like to forget that. These guys, they sweat and bleed with me, and we work hand to hand, and they travel long hours and take away time from their family, when they need to be at home. But yet, we got things at the shop to do. They come.
Duty calls.
And,
who are they?
I've got Jeremy Hughes, Jeremy Drone, Chris Barber, Dinky Torbert down here in Tennessee, crew chiefs of the car. We've got Jay Swacker, which is down and out a little bit right now. I think he's a little bit sick, but hopefully he gets feeling a little bit better. So, just everybody kind of chips in when they can, and we pull the strings together and
roll, baby, roll it.
Yeah, roll the gold, man.
There you go. Good job. Come back whenever we can get you. So, as
we'll do it, man.
I Never Good Man's a great lady, and she does a phenomenal job marketing this gentleman. So
she does a great job. She helps out and pulls a lot of weight pulls a lot my way too when I can't do it. You know,
To use a fishing term, she's like a big old rainbow trout. She's a keeper, ain't she?
Yeah.
She ain't throwing her back.
Absolutely. So. I mean, it's just last night, Buddy Wade Day down here in the Tennessee area was working down here on this. I think 2 of the cars that's going to be at Bristol. We're actually going to be taking him down today. Nate Monteith's car and Blake Jones's car for the Super. And he called me last night about midnight, and you care to come down and help? And I was like, man, I don't care. So me and her, we rolled in and, you know, rolled on down there. We got down to the shop about 1 o'clock last night, and we got home about 5 this morning. So it's been a pretty long night trying to get the cars back together for the race this weekend. And, you know, that's what it's all about. Everybody helps each other and makes it happen.
Here you go. Come back anytime, man. You're awesome. Give me some
Thank you,
taters.
man.
Yeah, current points leader, 9 races, 7 victories. You can't get any better than that. Chris Van Dyke, NASCAR late model driver, again racing back on the track next Friday night at the Concrete Jungle King Sports Speedway. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're going to go from racing to softball. We're going to take a look at the baseball scoreboard. Also, we got to talk about the Cavaliers last night. King LeBron and the boys. Not much drop off last night. These guys were solid. We'll talk about that and more after this timeout. Grip Energy Drink brings you show number 521 on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
The deals are heating up for Truck Month at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. Over 300 new Chevys to choose from, all with incredible savings. $11,000 off MSRP on 16 Silverado All-Star Crew Cabs. Check out the savings online at championjc.com. 16 Silverado Crew Cab, $33,685. 16 Track, $17,460. 16 Equinox, $21,615. 16 Traverse, $27,365. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology has just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
We're back live again to the Tom Taylor Sports Show. My man just gave me a country. Well, I'll just go ahead and say it. The juice is worth the squeeze. I like it. That's country right there now. I told him it all comes out in the wash. He says it's kind of like the juice is worth the squeeze. There you go. If old boy Kenny Chesney can write a song, I think my tractor's sexy, we can do one to go to Nashville and say, the juice is worth the squeeze. In concert, Chris Van Dyke. That's awesome. You made my day, man. Good luck to you. I'll talk to you. Hopefully get you back on for next week. He's 7 out of 9, folks. That's pretty good. We'll take it. 7 wins out of 9 tries and two second places. Piney Flats till 6 o'clock. Piney Flats, Food City. Grip Energy Drink. Good job, man. Take care of the Hey, remember, juice is worth the squeeze. He is awesome. He and his lovely bride. Appreciate him. Let's take a look at Major League Baseball here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Again, Colorado, Minnesota postponed last night. Houston, the hottest team in baseball, continues their winning ways. These guys are 29-12. They shut out Miami 3-0. Tampa Bay over Cleveland 7-4. Detroit beats Baltimore 5-4. Atlanta, the Bravos double up the Toronto Blue Jays 8-4. You have the Cardinals and Boston Red Sox got them last night at Busch Stadium 5-4 the final. Yankees over Kansas City 11-7. It was the Angels. They continue their winning ways. They're a hot ball club right now. Angels beat Chicago in LA 12-8. And again, Seattle blanks Oakland 4-0 in Major League Baseball in the American League. In the National League, Dodgers over San Francisco 6-1. Pittsburgh beat Washington 6-1. Cubs over the Reds 7-5. Texas 9, Philadelphia 3. And Milwaukee beat San Diego last night 3-1 in Major League Baseball. Getaway games today. We've got 3 games in the American League in the day. Baltimore at Detroit, Colorado at Minnesota. It would appear that Daniel Norris pitches tomorrow night. And again, that'll be at home against the Texas Rangers. He'll be in the mix this weekend for sure in that series with Texas. Baltimore, Detroit, day game. Colorado, Minnesota, day game. Philadelphia, Texas, day game. Then the second game, there's a doubleheader between the Rockies and Minnesota right around 7 o'clock tonight. Also under the lights, Toronto and the Braves home against Toronto. Yankees at Kansas City. Boston moves on to open up a series in Oakland tonight. And the White Sox will be in Seattle. In the National League, again, day games, you have Washington at Pittsburgh. Philadelphia, we told you, Texas. The Reds and the Cubs will get together at 2:20 this afternoon at Wrigley Field. Also Milwaukee and San Diego in the day game. Tonight under the lights, Toronto and Atlanta, we told you, and Miami with Edison Volquez on the mound taking on the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. And that's a look again at Major League Baseball on this Thursday, May the 18th, 2017. We'll take a quick break, come right back. We're live here at Champion Chevrolet. We got them loaded up today. We'll take a break. We'll come right back, and we'll be joined by Ken Harden, the Elizabethton lady softball coach. They punched their ticket to the sectional tomorrow night. They're going to be at home. We'll tell you who they're playing and get an update on the Lady Cyclones right after this. Again, at Champion Chevrolet, brought to you by Grip Energy Drink. You're listening and watching the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game. Birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
The deals are heating up for Truck Month at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. Over 300 new Chevys to choose from, all with incredible savings. $11,000 off MSRP on 16 Silverado All-Star Crew Cabs. Check out the savings online at championjc.com. 16 Silverado Crew Cab, $33,685. 16 Track, $17,460. 16 Equinox, $21,615. 16 Traverse, $27,365. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now, some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology has just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're live again at Champion Chevrolet, where again they have selected Malibus, both LS and LTs, 25% off here at Champion Chevrolet. Malibu, one of those nameplates for so many years, Bowtie, the number one Chevrolet dealership in the entire state of Tennessee. Nobody sells more Chevys. 50-plus dealerships in this great state, including the ones in Memphis, Nashville, anywhere in the state. Nobody sells more cars month by month than Champion Chevrolet here in the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City. Let's go to the phone. He's there. What an honor to have this gentleman, because he loves them Lady Cyclones. Coach Ken Harden, the Elizabethton Lady Cyclone softball coach. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Good morning. Doing great.
Yeah, let's talk about it. These Lady Cyclones, 35-6. Kind of give us a quick snapshot of the season so far in the regular season for the Lady Cyclones.
Just a great group of kids, and they've worked beyond expectations, and they've done everything we've asked them to and put their hearts in it, and they're a fantastic group of kids.
Yep, and then we at 35-6. Step us through postseason. How's it got to this point where we're playing for a chance to go to the state tournament?
Postseason, you're fighting for your life just about every night, it seems like, and these kids just keep stepping up. Different games. We were tied with East in the 6th inning, and the girls just come in, and they got together and put 7 runs on the board, and that got us started in tournament play. And then we beat Unicoi pretty good there, 8-0 the first time we played them, and came back and lost a really close game 4-3, and then come back and beat them for the district tournament in a really good game that our girls really hit. Then against Greensville, we didn't have our best stuff, but we good enough to win. And then we come back, and last night was just unbelievable with what the girls did after we got down 5-0. And not many people give us much of a chance against Unicoi after we get down 5-0. But girls stayed the same in the dugout. They stayed calm, and again they got together and started hitting the ball. And it's just a great night for us.
So help us out as a future coach, or someone out there is listening, maybe a future coach or a current coach. You're down 5-0 in the regional championship. What does Coach Harden tell his girls? Did you say anything to them? What did you say when you're down 5-0 to get to a good Unicoi County team?
Absolutely nothing. We stay the same, and we keep doing what we've done all year long. And we did talk a little bit about we've been behind before. We can do this. And basically, the girls stepped up, talked to one another, said, "Let's hit it, let's do it," and to their credit, they did.
Talking to Coach Ken Harden, you see on the screen here again at TomTaylorSports.com. If you want to listen to the show and watch the show, of course you can go back and watch and listen to the show later. It's archived, so you can listen to it anytime. And so, Coach, just the obvious, it's a team game, but you've got some ladies that have stepped up as individuals. Who are some of the ladies that have really helped you this season or playing well right now?
Both our pitchers have had a tremendous season. I think Lauren's 17-2, and Kelly's like 17-4. They've been on just about every night. And when one of them's not had a great night, the other one stepped up for them. And Lauren's been our leader at the plate, hitting it and home runs and RBIs. But we've had little table setters at the top of the lineup. Abby and Macy have got on base, and they both had a good year. And then Macy West has absolutely killed the ball all year long. And a few of them finally got down last night. She's had a lot of Adam balls this year. And the Cunningham kid don't want to leave anybody out. Everybody's contributed, all the way down to our pinch runners that just come off the bench. They've accepted their roles, and any coach will tell you that's important for a athlete to understand what they're there for and what they're doing, and all the kids have. It's been a total team effort.
You're 35-6. Tomorrow night you play Union County in Elizabeth, and a team that got you last year 9-2. And so, give us a scouting report on Union County coming to town tomorrow.
A very good team. They've got a senior pitcher that throws a lot of strikes. She doesn't walk anybody. She doesn't give you anything, and they're probably one of the top defensive teams we've played in the last 2 years. They just don't make mistakes, so you really have to hit it against them, and hopefully we'll hit like we have been the last few games against them, and we should have a chance.
There you go. Again, Coach, before I let you go, we're telling you off air, I think this is a really cool statistic that only 2 schools in Northeast Tennessee have both baseball and softball playing tomorrow night, North Green and Single A, and the Elizabethton Cyclones baseball and Lady Cyclone softball. And that's a great testament to the kids, to the town of Elizabethton, to the feeder system, all the way down to the little people learning the sport early and now up to playing varsity on the softball team. So it's quite an honor to have one school having both teams playing for a chance to go to a state tournament.
Yeah, we've worked hard to get ourselves in this situation. Mr. Preston and myself, him and baseball, big shout out to them. He's got a great program and a young team, a lot coming back, so we expect a lot out of them. And our little ones, we've got kids from every age that are playing. If you noticed it, I know you weren't at the park last night, but we had little bitty ones all the way up to junior high girls that are watching us, and we're just trying to continue to build something really special here.
What time's first pitch tomorrow night?
5:30.
5:30. Coach, good luck to you. It's awesome. Appreciate your time. You're a class act, and so are those girls, and good luck to you. And go Lady Cyclones tomorrow night, all right?
Okay, thank you for your support.
Yes, sir. Appreciate him. What a class act. Ken Harden, again, the softball coach for the Lady Cyclones in Elizabeth, and getting ready. They are 21 outs away, of course, from a chance to get to the big dance. And so they'll do that tomorrow night. 5:30 first pitch in Elizabeth, and right there beside the school. Place will be packed, and it should be. This is what you go for all spring long, sitting out in cold weather and rainy weather and miserable conditions. And so now you're down to a 21-out ball game to get a chance to go to the state tournament. And everybody that plays tomorrow night, whether on the road or traveling, or I should say on the road or home, should have a big crowd. These kids deserve it, whether it's girls or guys, matters not. At this point, for me, I'm circling the wagons and I'm cheering for everybody out of Northeast Tennessee because this is the way I'm wired. So tomorrow night, again, let's run down the softball for you. In Single A, Unaka, the Lady Rangers, hosting Tellico Plains. North Green will head to Meigs County. In Double A, the Elizabethton Lady Cyclones, you just heard, hosting Union County. Unicoi County goes to CAK tomorrow night. In Triple A, Knox Gibbs will be in Morristown against the Lady Hurricanes, Morristown East. And Cherokee, the Lady Chiefs, will travel to Knox Powell. That is in softball. In baseball tomorrow night, Single A, North Green hosting Grace Christian out of Knoxville. The Hampton Bulldogs travel to Greenback. In Double A, Elizabeth and the Pigeon Forge. CAK at Greenville will have that game for you tomorrow night from Pigeon Forge. In AAA, Dobbins Minute playing host to Maryville. We'll talk to Ryan Wagner coming up next half hour, the head coach of the Dobbins Minute baseball team. Jeff County will be at Farragut. So that's your baseball and softball. Let's look at another stat real quick. I think this is phenomenal too. This is every sport every year. Look at the schools from Carter County that are playing in the tournament right now. You have Hampton boys, Elizabethton boys. Okay, in softball you have Unaka's girls, Elizabethton's girls. Yep, 4 teams that are from Unaka, Elizabethton girls, and Elizabethton and Hampton's guys. That's incredible. 4 teams out of Carter County, which is not that big a county, obviously. You got 4 teams trying to get to the state tournament next week by winning tomorrow night. 2 of the guys' teams and 2 of the girls' teams. So pretty incredible statistic if you ask me. Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're live here again at Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City. Again, we'll take a quick break. Coming up here, we're going to check in my man who is walking in as we speak. Carmichael's in the house. We'll get him on here in just a second. We'll let him talk about the National Hockey League. We'll let him talk about the NBA. Before we go to the break, we were talking softball. There's a couple of games in the NCAA Division I being played today in the Salt Lake City Regional. The Lady Bulldogs of Mississippi State and BYU, and Fordham, the Lady Rams, and Utah, the Lady Utes. I guess how you call it. UTES, the Lady Utes, are playing tonight. That's Thursday. Then everybody else plays tomorrow, including in Knoxville. Kevin will have more about this coming up here in a little while. Tennessee, the Lady Vols, again hosting Longwood tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. The first side of the bracket, the Lady Buckeyes of Ohio State taking on South Carolina Upstate. Also, the Lady Bucks of East Tennessee State in the Auburn region. Lady Bucks will play Auburn tomorrow afternoon at 4:30 in Auburn, Alabama. And I got to give props to my school. We are Marshall, the Lady Thundering Herd of Marshall, taking on the Lady Fighting Illini from Illinois. That's in the Lexington Regional in Kentucky. That'll be at noon tomorrow. So there you go. So that's what's happening. Again, here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, we're live again at Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City. And so we appreciate Coach Harden. Also, we've got Ryan Wagner's going to join us coming up here in a few minutes. We've got him. Let's roll him right into this segment. Carmichael's in the house. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
I am just scrambling like Fran Tarkington today.
He's on the move. He's always on the move. Lots going on at the Parks and Rec. We'll talk about that. It's busy time at the Parks and Rec. So, all right, let's start with the NBA. Last night, the Cleveland Cavaliers, again, King LeBron of the boys. Let me get the story rolling for you so we can have the right. LeBron had 38 points, 9 boards, 7 assists. Cavaliers beat the Celtics in Boston, 117-104. I talked all week about the layoff. They're going to be rusty. Didn't look like too rusty to me. Kevin Love, playoff career high 32, had 12 rebounds. Cavaliers improved to 9-0 in the first 3 rounds of the playoffs. They opened 10-0 last season, winning their first NBA title. So, again, I kept saying Cavaliers going to be rusty. They were off for about 10 days after sweeping Toronto. Went into Boston, beat a good Celtic team. These guys, are they on a roll? Is this a team of destiny this year?
This is a team of at least get to the championship. And they're a different type of team than Golden State is. Golden State, being rusty, more of a jump shooting team. I mean, they space the floor, really do more of the perimeter shooting. They do take the ball inside at times. But Cleveland's the opposite. Cleveland can shoot the ball well from outside with James and with Irving and with Love, but they're more of a team that really wants to push the pedal to the metal and go full tilt. And I don't think an offense like that is going to be maybe as rusty sometimes with a long layoff as a jump shooting offense like Golden State's.
On the other side of the ledger, my guys get run off the floor the other night by 36. Popovich called them out, said, you guys, without Kawhi Leonard, you never even looked like you thought you could win this basketball game. And it showed. They got hammered, and then they blow the 24, 25-point lead in Game 1. Everything shifts to San Antonio on Saturday night. Any chance at all, do you think the San Antonio Spurs can get 1 or 2 of these games in Texas, this next 2 games?
You've got to think over basically 4.5 quarters, they've been outscored by almost 60 points. I mean, it takes talent to be outscored by 60 points in 4.5 quarters. But all kidding aside, because I'm a Golden State fan, that's all kidding aside. Game 3 is going to be the game of the series. It's the series.
That's exactly right.
If San Antonio can win and get back in it, hey, now you've got it going probably at least a 6-game series. It could even go 7. But if they've got to play much better defensively, and you don't know if Golden State's going to shoot 56% from the field again. They shot the lights out Tuesday night.
I would agree. I think it's the series. Of course, they're going to have Leonard back. I don't know how good he's going to be. They've rested him, but Kawhi Leonard's going to be back for Game 3 in San Antonio, and
who is he going to guard? That's the difficult thing. If he's hobbling, who is he going to guard? Well, he's not going to be able to guard. He's not going to be able to guard Klay Thompson.
No,
because they'll keep running Thompson around, trying to get him open looks. He's not going to be able to stay with Durant. And and Draymond, I don't think so. Does he then guard whoever plays the 5 position? If Golden State plays the big, if they play Zach, if they play the small lineup, then maybe he has Livingston or even if Iguodala. That was a big loss even for Golden State. Iguodala not playing is a great defender and is able to be a stopper on defense, but offensively they didn't need him the other night. I mean, it was just shooting the lights out.
Cavaliers tomorrow night will be back in Boston to take on the Celtics again. It's going to be a Saturday, Monday in San Antonio between Golden State and the Golden State Warriors and the San Antonio Spurs. So it's Cleveland and Boston tomorrow night. Then Sunday, you shift to Cleveland for Sunday and Tuesday games. And so that's the schedule the next couple of days. We're talking to Carmichael. Again, we're live here at Champion Chevrolet. Coming up, we're going to be checking in with Ryan Wagner coming up here in about 10 or 15 minutes to see what's going on with the head baseball coach of Dobbins Minute. They got a big game tomorrow night, the chance to punch their ticket to the state tournament again for DB baseball. Carmichael on the ice tonight, my friend. The Preds. Here we go. The Preds and Anaheim Ducks. Tell me about it. Preview.
This has been a dream playoff so far. I mean, if you're a Nashville fan and a long-suffering fan like I am, I said it put it on Facebook the other night. Please, Lord Stanley, don't wake me up from this dream just yet. Just let me dream on for at least, hopefully, 6 more games. But it's a tough series. Anaheim is a very physical team with Getzlaf, with Ryan Kessler, with Corey Perry. They're a very physical team. They've got good defenders. John Gibson has been playing well in goal. Every game has gone well, except for even in the game that Anaheim won Sunday, the 5-3 game. That was a 4-3 game. It was a 2-0 game, Nashville, until Anaheim caught a couple of breaks. Rini had on Anaheim's fourth goal, it looked like he was completely lost on that goal. And then they got an empty netter with a minute to go. So the game was a very close game. It's going to be a very close game. Now, it's been a very close for the last 2 years. This has been a very close playoff series. Nashville has been getting contributions from just about everybody. This has been like a 20-man. There's not anybody really been such a superstar in this series. Everybody has pitched in. But keep looking for Nashville's defenders. Ryan Ellis, Roman Yossi, PK Subban to come in and do such a great job, and also not only on the defensive end but also scoring wise as well and setting up.
It's tonight. They'll skate at 8 o'clock in Nashville, and I guess that would be Eastern Standard Time.
8 o'clock, yes. Matthias Ekholm, the Nashville defenders have really been the stars of this playoffs. They've gotten contributions from Ryan Johansson, their centerman that they got in a trade a year ago. It's been a key to their resurgence in the playoffs the last 2 years. James Neal which was a big trade for Nashville 2 years ago, has been proven dividends in the playoffs. So it's just been fun. This has been the most fun. It's been the first time, and it's been the first time since Nashville has been into the playoffs in 2004. I've not had a chance to go down and watch a game, so I'm hoping maybe the luck gets there, and if they can make it to the Stanley Cup final, be able to get a chance to go down.
Talking to Ian Carmichael again for the Johnson City Parks and Rec. We're live here at Champion Chevrolet again on this beautiful Thursday. Excellent weather outside. Are you surprised the Ottawa Senators have taken a 2-1 lead over the Penguins? They win last night 5-1 over the defending Stanley Cup champions.
Yes, this has been the surprise because a lot of people didn't think Ottawa would get past Boston. But they have played well, won a bunch of close games. They've won almost every game that's been close, even though the last night wasn't close. They got 4 goals in the opening period. But they've got one of the great defenders in the game in John Carlson. Bobby Ryan, who played at one time, was part of the Anaheim Ducks, came over to the Senators a few years ago in the trade, has been key. They've gotten all the breaks, they've won all the close games. I still think Pittsburgh in the end wins the series. I think it goes 7, but Ottawa's throwing a shock into them right now.
Again, they'll skate tomorrow night in Ottawa, and then they'll go back to Pittsburgh on Sunday. So again, right now the Senators lead 2-1 in the Eastern Conference Finals, and of course in the Western Conference, as you know, the Predators lead the Anaheim Ducks 2-1. They'll skate tonight again at 8 o'clock again in Nashville. We're talking to Carmichael. NASCAR, they announced that Richard Petty Motorsports, Eric Amarola out with a broken vertebra in his back with that crash at Kansas Speedway. They've tapped Regan Smith to drive in his absence for Richard Petty Motorsports. I don't know. I have mixed emotions about Regan Smith. I mean, he's a nice guy. I've been around him at the track, but I keep going back. We talked about this yesterday on the show with Angie from the Johnson City Press. Why either Greg Biffle is not wanted, or he's put out overtures he doesn't want to drive anymore, or for whatever reason, nobody's touching Greg Biffle to drive. In a substitute. There was some talk about maybe him replacing Junior next year. I don't see that either. But why Regan Smith? Why not Greg Biffle or somebody else?
Maybe it's the fit for the team. Maybe Greg Biffle is the kind of personality you don't want on your team. Maybe you think, okay, I'm just using a short-term guy, and this guy may be looking for a long-term ride.
Good point.
And maybe we don't want that kind of attitude on the team. We just want somebody that can come in that knows the role of being a substitute. Because a lot of times, when you've been a when you've been a driver like Biffle, it's kind of like on a sports team, you've been the starter for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Now you've kind of walked away from it, and now we want to bring you back, but we want you in a reserve type role like Petty is asking. It may not fit. He may not be the kind of guy that can accept a reserve role easy.
Something's up because Biffle's not been asked that I know of. Of course, I'm up here in East Tennessee, but all the things I've read, nobody's really reached out to him in any capacity, and maybe he's indicated he doesn't want to do that. I don't know, but anyway, Reagan Smith will be in the All-Star race on Saturday evening. The Monster Energy All-Star race, no points, are racing for $1 million. Do you like the All-Star race? I asked several people this week on the show. Put that up against the Pro Bowl, Major League Baseball, the National Hockey League, NBA All-Star games. Does NASCAR, are they filling the bill? Are they doing it right by having an all-star race in the middle of the season and the way they do it?
Yeah, I think that honestly, you've got more to win in the NASCAR all-star race than you do any of the others.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because the others are just exhibitions,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean they're going to, and eventually, thank goodness, Major League Baseball is going to get away from that, letting the team who wins the league that wins the all-star game have the home field advantage. That's ludicrous, and the NBA. It's just a tool. Basically, the All-Star game has been a tool to market your product, to get your best players out. And I think this way with NASCAR. I really wish NASCAR would even cut it and make it even more of a thing. Not bring, maybe just make it the 10 or 15 best drivers. Not bring everybody. Don't, it's like, well, we have a fan vote. We usually know who wins the fan vote. It's usually has been either Danica or last year I think Chase Elliott won it, but he should have qualified probably into the All-Star this year. So maybe it's here we go with Danica again.
Yeah,
and it's like just take you've got a sense, take the 12 or 16 best drivers,
turn them loose,
and just turn them loose.
Yeah.
None of this. We're going to have a little pre-All-Star race to get into the All-Star race, and just do the All-Star race.
Roll it. Turn them loose and go. Turn those ponies loose.
Let them, even if you want to bring them in earlier and let them come in and run a qualifying lap, okay, you do that. Maybe at 6 o'clock they run, or 5:30 they run a qualifying lap, see where they're going to be placed, and at 8 o'clock we bring them back and turn them loose for the money.
We're on the Carmichael. We're live here at Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City. Tomorrow, right up the road, Volunteer Parkway, Bristol, Food City, Midnight Madness sale. We'll tell you all about that before we get out of here at 1 o'clock. Yet to come, Ryan Wagner, head baseball coach at Dobynsville, is going to join us here in a few minutes, talking about the Indians, what they must do to win tomorrow night to get to the state tournament. Also, Kevin Harmon joins us at the bottom of the hour with the UT Sports Update. Carmichael, a couple more things. I'll let you go. We're going to talk about Parks and Rec here in a second. But NFL news, number one, the owners getting closer to making another rules change. They're going to slim down or eliminate the overtime period from 15 down to 10 minutes, which means, and Roger Goodell has said, there's going to be more ties in the National Football League because we're going to cut the overtime period down from 15 to 10. They got to vote on it. I believe it's this weekend. The owners do. 24 out of the 32 owners have to approve that. Cutting it to 10 minutes, he said, we're going to have more ties when it's all said and done. You come pay big bucks to go watch a football team in the National Football League. I don't think fans want to leave with a tie. What do you think?
I think you eliminate it altogether, and you have it. And just like you do in soccer, in soccer all around the world, everywhere in the world we play to, it's a tie. And you play in the regular season. I think you play the tie. Make the coaches make a decision. Okay, we've got the ball with 35 seconds left in the game. We're on our own 33-yard line. The game's tied. Okay, do we want to sit here and actually play for a tie, or do we want to try to win the game? Because then if it's, you get toward the end of the regular season, and maybe it's a playoff implication. Maybe in the days now where you're playing for overtime, it's like, okay, we're just going to wait and get to overtime. But now it's like, well, there's no overtime, and we have to win. So now it forces you to make decisions, and I think that's better for the fans than sitting around playing for an overtime.
There you go. The other topic, again, on my team, the Raiders. Derek Carr comes out and says, hey, nobody's coming to me. We're not talking any contract extension. Getting a little antsy. I want this resolved before training camp starts, which is a ways off, but it really isn't. So the Raiders are dragging their feet trying to re-sign Derek Carr to a long-time contract, knowing, based on his success the last couple of seasons, they're going to have to open up the checkbook to keep this guy. So what's the hold-up in Oakland, do you think?
I think they've been trying to do juggling all the balls they've been doing. They're trying to get the team moved to Las Vegas, sign Marshawn Lynch. I think they've kind of thought, okay, we're going to put this on the back burner. This is something we don't have to do. But I really think Derek Carr wants to get it taken care of, wants to know he's in their long-term plans. And if not, it's like, well, maybe I need to start looking around elsewhere for deals beginning next year.
Baseball, real quick before I let him go. Houston, the top team in baseball right now. They're red hot. Your Reds, let's see where they're at. The Reds right now are 19-20.
Our Reds.
Yeah, our Reds. Yeah, well.
But they're playing much better. Really, other than some injuries, this has been a surprising year, and they're getting contributions all over the place.
How bad is the Eastern Division? Atlanta in second place at 16-21.
Yeah,
Washington's running around with this thing so far.
Yeah, what it is going? The playoffs could be, the Eastern Division could be settled by September 1st.
American League East, New York, the Yankees a game better than Baltimore and 4 better than Boston. Then in the Central, Minnesota, team lost over 100 games last year. We talked about this yesterday with Greg Salyer. Clean house in the front office, started over, and they're right now a game, and it's a long season, but they're at this point 35 games in, they're in first place, a game better than Cleveland and a game and a half better than Detroit. That's got to be a surprise with Minnesota.
That's one of the two major surprises of the year, and I think the other's the Yankees. I mean, that was a team nobody really thought had a chance to win the East this year, and all those young players have just come up, busted out on the scene in New York, and if they can just keep their starting pitching intact, maybe even 3 to 4 deep, and they've got some depth now in the farm system. Maybe they get to July, 1st of August, and they're in this race. Maybe they go out and go get a starter to help them push them over the edge. They think, okay, we're close enough now to win this. All we need is maybe a starter, and you start looking around, at places. If like if Minnesota falls out of the race, you got Erwin Santana there. I think he's going to be a key piece. You look at the White Sox; they've got some starting pitching. If they get out of the race, that could be a fire sale there. I look at a lot of, and Detroit's another one. If Detroit falls out of the race, you've got players just all over. But the Yankees have become, with those young kids, have become the darlings of New York now.
Assess Daniel Norris so far this season, A, B, C, or D?
Probably C, I think, because he's just been, he was injured, got off to the slow start. He has those ups and down starts. He's pitched well in a couple of games, struggled in a couple of others. Still a young player, still a young pitcher. This is a good year for him to just get developed, get his feet settled in the major leagues.
Yep, looks like he'll pitch this weekend against the Texas Rangers in Detroit. Is his schedule start maybe tomorrow night or maybe Saturday? Daniel Norris's next assignment against the Rangers in Detroit. Carmichael Parks and Rec, what's going on, my friend?
We have got fall soccer registration has started this week. We're still finishing up spring soccer. Hopefully next week through tournaments and reschedules, we'll have that going on. So we've got the soccer registration. We've got a baton twirling class. It made me laugh when I pulled this, a chuckle in my head, thinking of the great Andy Griffith movie, Facing the Crowd, where where he marries the baton Lee Remick, who plays the baton twirler in Arkansas. When I thought of that, I thought of this, but classes are going to start on Thursday nights beginning May 25th. It's $8 a class. You have to have your own baton. They have a beginner's class ages 4 to 16 from 5:30 to 6:30, and advanced classes 6:30 to 7:30 ages 7 to 16. And for more information about the baton twirling class, you can call Memorial Park Community Center 434-5749. Also, a senior golf clinic will be held this coming Monday, May 22nd at Pine Oaks. It's limited to the first 12 to register. Open to any ability level. It's $10, ages 60 and over, for a golf clinic. They'll go over the fundamentals, basic fundamentals, and they do have the equipment at Pine Oaks if you want to come out and have a good time. For more information on that, 434-6250. And teen camps this summer.
Ooh.
For if you got teenagers, I know I'm my wife and I are trying to find something for our teenager this summer. We've done adaptive baseball and enjoyed that. The 1 week we've had a chance to dodge the rain in Asheville. But the Adventure Quest Camp, which will be at Wing Deer Park at the Robert Young Cabin, July 17th through 21st, from 9 till 4. It's $60 for the camp. They do some building every day. They have a field trip, and meals are supplied during the field trips. They're also going to do some rafting, different things like that during the camp. Also the volunteer camp. And volunteers, so many high school students now have to have volunteer hours to graduate. So this is something that you can do. It's the first time we've ever tried to do this team volunteer camp. They'll do things like work with Second Harvest Food, Habitat for Humanity, Jacobs Nature Park over at Sinking Creek, and you'll get 40-plus hours of volunteer work for ages 14 to 17. It's $35 for the volunteer camp. And for more information, you can call 434-5749 on that.
MyJCParks.org as well.
Yes,
so
go there in either place.
You here next week?
I'll be here next week.
Awesome. We'll get him back in here next week. We'll take a quick break. That's Carmichael again with us from the Johnson City Parks and Rec, a plethora of sports knowledge. We'll take a break. Ryan Wagner, head baseball coach of the Dobbleton Indians, joins us next by phone. We're live at Champion Chevrolet. At the bottom of the hour, Kevin Harmon joins us talking UT Sports. We're live here, show number 521. We're live here at Champion Chevrolet, brought to you by Grip Energy Drink. You're listening to the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447. If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show live at Champion Chevrolet, the #1 Chevy dealer in the entire state of Tennessee. Nobody sells more Chevrolets anywhere, Memphis, Nashville, Knoxville, pick a place, than right here at Champion Chevrolet. And we'll tell you why in a few minutes. We've got some great deals on Silverados and the Malibus right here in mid-May. And we'll talk to We'll talk about that, I should say, coming up here in a few minutes. We want to go to the phone. You see on the screen on the phone Ryan Wagner, the head baseball coach at Dobyns Bennett. And, Coach, first off, congratulations. Great performance by your kids. And now you put yourself in a position to get back to the state tournament again. So congratulations. Tell us about last night's ball game, would you please?
Well, Jefferson County, really good team, number one team coming out of the IMAC this year. Talk to anybody down that way, they feel like they were the best team, hands down. They got 3 good pitchers and just a good scrappy team. And we knew going in would be very difficult, but I felt like we played pretty flawless ball. Only made 1 error and a couple miscues at the plate, but got some big timely hits by a lot of people really during the game at some point, and even little things like sacrifice flies and 1-out doubles and just big 2-out hits along the way was big for us. And Tanner Dorn was our pitcher last night, and just 2 great performances by him 2 weeks in a row, going back to last week, the championship game against Tennessee High, and then last night as well.
And so the Indians last night, good crowd there to cheer them on. They beat a good Jeff County team, as you heard him saying. So now you get ready for the Maryville Rebels. They're coming to town tomorrow night. How big, you've been on both sides of the coin. You've had to travel for this game. You've had to host this game. From a psychological perspective, how big is it to know you're going to be at your place tomorrow night instead of traveling?
Well, it is. I mean, you still got to play. You still got to pitch. You still got to make plays. You got to execute and come up with big hits. And that's the key. But obviously, we feel more comfortable here at home and just kind of staying in the routine of what we do for home games. And so, you know, obviously, you kind of got to have your guns as far as your arms and things ready for the sub-state game or sectional now. But you also are going to pitch a good pitcher trying to get you a home game, and it's worked out for us this week. And we've been fortunate enough here the last few weeks just to be playing well and doing the little things kind of peaked at the right time. And going back to last night real quick, mentioned Tanner already, but Daniel Starnes with 2 big doubles, and then our 9-hole hitter Chaz Kimbrell had 3 hits last night. He's 3 for 3, so really big performance by him too. So that was some key guys last night, again, along with a lot of guys doing things you don't see maybe in the paper.
Your regional title last night, the 5th in 6 years for Dobyns Bennett, the 24th in school's history. So now you get ready for, as we said, getting ready for Maryville to come to town tomorrow night. Give us a scouting report on the Rebels. They got to be a good ball club. As you know, you've been around this a long time. There are no cream puffs at this point. Everybody's good. DB's good, and so is Maryville. Give me a scouting report on the Rebels, would you please?
Yeah, it's Adam Sullivan, who moved there from Knox Catholic. Had been there for several years. Does a great job, and obviously getting him to this point in 2 years says a lot about him. And we know what kind of, just from history and sports around the state of Tennessee, we know what kind of kids Maryville has. Just tough kids that are just good athletes, and we'll see a good arm tomorrow night. And we'll just have to do the things we've been doing, probably a little bit better too. So you know, good team, and we're looking for a good ball game.
First pitch is what time tomorrow night, Coach?
We're going to play at 6 o'clock, J. Fred Johnson, and just looking for a big crowd. We've been very fortunate enough to have really big crowds on Monday and Wednesday this week, and I hope even more come out tomorrow night to support these guys.
There you go. Hey, good luck to you. Hope you get down to the big dance again. You were there in 2013 and 14. Try and do it again in 17. You're 21 outs away. Coach, thanks for your time. Good luck, and go Indians tomorrow night.
Hey, thanks for having me, and we'll talk soon. Thanks again.
You got it. Good man right there, Ryan Wagner, head baseball coach of the Dobyns Bennett Indians, again with us live on the show. And, again, we're ready to talk to you. Obviously, he is settled into the seat and ready. Kevin Harmon, before I could even get him to the break, he's chomping. He's got some things to talk about down in Knoxville. You got folks leaving the Lady Vols program, got a coach that's going to step away from his particular sport. So we'll tell you all about that coming up. Quick break. We'll be right back and talk to Kevin Harmon. We're live again at Champion Chevrolet. Before we go to the break, let me tell you about some of the specials, again, that Tim told me to tell you about, and we will, because Andy's not here, and he said it's a good day at Champion Chevrolet, because Andy will be away today, but back with us, of course, next week. The 2017 Silverado's 1500 Crew Cab All-Star. $11,000 you can save right now off those particular trucks here at Champion Chevrolet. You can check them out on the website at championjc.com. Also, the 2017 Silverado 1500 double cab 4x4 All-Stars. 11. They've added another $1,000 to it. You can save $11,000 off these Silverados right now while they're in stock, and they've got them. And also the Malibu LTs and LSs. These are all 2017s. The Malibu LS and LT select models, 25% off here at Champion Chevrolet. And, man, you can't beat it. Also, with all the sales they've been having, had a great month so far. I would tell you there's a lot of pre-owned in here because a lot of folks are doing trade-ins to get what they want on the lot. They have, 2007 Lexus. They have a 2015 Hyundai. They've got a Chevrolet Captiva. They've got a Chevrolet Cruze diesel 2014. They got a 2015 Chevrolet Trax. They've got a Chevrolet Malibu 2015. It just goes on and on. Here's a Cadillac CTS 2.0 L Turbo Premium, a 2014. They've got on the lot a Toyota Tacoma, Honda Accord. I mean, they got a little bit of everything, but they have a lot of bow ties for sale, both new and used, pre-owned vehicles ready to go. You can check them all out again at championjc.com. And I would be remiss not telling the names of these great folks, like the sales manager, Cletus Green. He's over a great guy. He's been real helpful in this show when we first started coming here. Kristen Martin and Stephanie Broadwater, Internet Sales, Bob Bays, Ron Dunn, Charlie Birchfield. There's Andy's picture. Andy Dietrich, Tim Copenhaver. Also, we've got the co-owners, of course. Mike Cole, the pre-owned manager, Tim Arnold, Chris McCall, Lloyd Fleener, Brian Wilder, Glenn Taylor's been in the car business, I think they said over 50 years, Marshall Jobe, David Palmer, Jay Hayes, Tom Powers, and Randy Rydell. And those are the folks making it go here at Champion Chevrolet. ChampionJC.com. And don't forget, service department is open every Saturday from 8 until 5. Quick break. He's here. You can see him on screen with these guy's a marketing machine with his Century 21 ball cap. Kevin Harmon joins us coming up next, talking UT Sports. We're live at Champion Chevrolet on show number 521, brought to you by a Grip Energy Drink. You are watching, listening to the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications, in 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE Master Technicians here. With the ratio, it goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop, so it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitat, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. There you go. There's the way for you to win 2 tickets to the Thunder Valley Nationals. We got 10 pairs to give away. These are $40 tickets. We're giving away $80 every time, so we're talking $800 worth of tickets. So all you have to do is go right here, TomTaylorSports.com/contest, and again, be ready to go. Thunder Valley Nationals, again, Father's Day weekend, again at Bristol Dragway, and so we're giving away tickets. These tickets are grandstand seats, and also the same ticket gets you down to the pits, so you get a chance to get down to rub elbows with John Force and Courtney Force and all the folks. So again, the NHRA Thunder Valley Nationals, again, all you have to do is go there, TomTaylorSports.com/contest, and register, and again, well, as you see, we'll announce the winners on Tuesday, June the 13th, race week, and why would you not? If you want to go up there and see some great racing, you're talking about when they fire those engines up and they go down that dragway at 300 miles an hour and down in that valley, the noise rumbles. In fact, it actually makes, when I've been up there, makes your chest cavity just kind of, I'm not sure how to explain it. It's really unbelievable because the ground rumbles, the sound reverberates down that hollow, if you will, down that valley, thus the name Thunder Valley, and it's incredible. And so plus there's some great racing. Of course, at nighttime, it's all under the lights. You get to see the flames going out the back of the car. So if you're a redneck like me, you like to see flames, that's where you want to go. So anyway, that's coming up. Go there, TomTaylorSports.com/contest. Also, I want to remind you, coming up, we'll be tomorrow, we're going to be live again at Food City, the Midnight Madness sale. Here's some specials tomorrow from noon till 6. Again, in the husk sweet corn, 12 ears for $3, 25 cents an ear. That's going to be going on tomorrow. Also, you have Coca-Cola products, 24-pack, 12-ounce cans, 2 for $10. Frito-Lay Doritos tomorrow. Limit for $1.99 a bag. Also, they always have either paper towels or toilet paper on sale. They do tomorrow. Scott bath tissue, 12 big rolls, or Scott paper towels, 6 regular rolls. $3.99, limit 2 tomorrow. Those are some of the specials. How about this? A bakery fresh apple pie, 8-inch. I'm going to get one of those. Then tomorrow night, go home and get some ice cream and some apple pie. The pie is $2.99 tomorrow during the Midnight Madness sale. And then last but not least, let's again tell you about the real pulled pork. This is some good barbecue too. The Clifty Farm Barbecue, limit 2, $4.99 tomorrow at Food City. Again, that's during the Midnight Madness sale. We'll be at Food City on the Volunteer Parkway tomorrow in Bristol, our buddy Rick Miller's store. Looking forward to being there tomorrow. There he is on camera holding the sign just like he's supposed to. Man, he's you can train him pretty easy right here. Quick learner. How you doing, Bubba?
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Show number 521, and got a big announcement.
521. That adds up to 8. That's a lucky number.
There you go. Never thought of it that way, right? Lucky 8. So we've got a big announcement. Looks like next week, get all the I's dotted, T's crossed. We'll make that announcement. We're going to take the show to the next level. And so, what does that mean? Just have to wait and let me tell you next week. We may make.
You can hire me as your agent.
Could be. May need one. I don't know. So we will do that. Maybe we'll make that announcement here next week. Is Andy back next week, Tim?
That's what I call running the ship.
There you go. Tim says, who knows? Okay. If the wind's blowing him this way, we'll have him on. If not, it'll be status quo. We got Tim Copenhaver, the co-owner of Champion Chevrolet. He says, who knows? These guys are great. This is like, what was the name of Jack Klugman and Tony
Odd Couple?
The Odd Couple. These guys are hilarious. No, these guys are hilarious. I mean, you talk about two guys that feed off each other. Tim Copenhaver and Andy Dietrich, the co-owners here at Champion Chevrolet. Kevin's here talking Tennessee sports, Tennessee football. It says to say Tennessee, what is it here? I like a man writes his notes on the back of a file folder. That tells you he's busy because he's out selling real estate. Tennessee is hot and it has momentum in recruiting. Tell me about that.
Okay. Well, we'll just start right at the top. 2017 signees come in less than 2 weeks, Tom, to get on campus and start weightlifting and or exercising. Listen to me, conditioning for the summer and the fall camp. Then your SEC media days and season's right around the corner. The opening game against Georgia Tech at the end of August. But right now on the recruiting trail, Tennessee just got a commitment from the quarterback out of California, Adrian Martinez, who had committed to Cal and was offered by USC, UCLA, Oregon, those guys. And he has rethought his commitment and come on board with Tennessee, and has felt that that's another one of your quarterbacks of the future. We're stocked at quarterback position, Tom. It looks very good for Tennessee at the quarterback position. I'm hearing a lot of good things about Mike Canales. They call him Chico, the quarterback coach at UT who's felt he's very instrumental in getting this kid's commitment.
All right, so let me ask you a pointed question, and you don't have this answer. I don't guess anybody does except the coaching staff. But if today, or let's say this Saturday, it's Georgia Tech, in your humble opinion, who does Butch Jones, is he going to platoon, or will he start one guy, and who do you think it'll be?
I think he'll start Dormandy, but I think that Garantano will play.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. I really do. I don't think Dormandy has really separated himself that much. I think he's got the experience in the offense. He's played some, got the size. I think he can do a lot of good things. But, you know how it is. Nothing really happens until the lights go on.
Sure.
Then you really can tell.
Who's...
Yeah, I mean, preparation is great, but nothing can really, really simulate game speed like a game. So, yeah, I mean, whoever starts is going to start. That's all well and said and good, but once the light comes on, we'll figure out pretty quickly.
Now, again, we're talking to Kevin Harmon. Obviously, see on the screen, UT Sports Update every week. He is chock full of information. We got a coach stepping away from the program at UT. Got some ladies leaving the program at the Lady Vols. We'll talk about that coming up here in a minute. So they're in the weight room now. So school's out. We're in the summer mode now. Tennessee football, I guess all colleges. So now they are going through the weight program. What are they doing?
Well,
are the kids gone? Or are they still in town?
They'll come back. I mean, yeah, you get a little bit of a break, and then they'll come back in a week or two. So your summer classes will start, and those summer guys will be here, and they'll start weightlifting. A lot of your players stay. Then you have the summertime the enrollees that come in early. They'll start with the rate program with Rock Gullickson. He's the one that will kind of kick it off and get the mentality built, and pushing yourself and the things that he does that gets them in the mode, the mindset to start fall camp. But it starts with conditioning. I mean, it's a year. It's like it's year round. I mean, if you slack off today, you're not going to just be able to turn it on come kickoff time. I mean, you have to prepare yourself, and you prepare yourself for a long season. It takes a lot of hydration. It takes a lot of weightlifting. You have to pace yourself. I mean, it's like all athletes at any level. You have to pace yourself and be prepared, and that's really what they're doing.
We're talking to Kevin Harmon. We're live here again at Champion Chevrolet, the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City. Tomorrow we'll be live again at Food City on the Volunteer Parkway in Bristol. Monday we'll be at Mike's Medicine Mart. Tuesday got a brand new location. We'll tell you about that on Tuesday. Next Thursday, right back here with Tim and Andy here at Champion Chevrolet.
And Kevin. And Kevin.
And Kev. Yeah. Kev's coming to me. He's automatic. Got to have him. And I get a lot of positive feedback for this guy being on the show because he does. I mean, again, look here. There's his cheat sheet, but he's prepared. He comes in. He ain't winging it. He's done his homework. Here's a good thing I think about Tennessee recruiting. In fact, Coach Fulmer said this last week. We had him on the show here a week ago today when he was down in Knoxville, caught him by phone. And he said, and you're going to approve this, he said, things are going good for Tennessee because in the recruiting wars, you're now going after the same kids that are in there against Alabama, Florida, Georgia. Back when Dooley was here, you're up against I'm not knocking these schools, so don't. But, you're up here in Tennessee.
They weren't SEC colleges.
Yeah, they're going after guys that are trying to sign at Ohio University and Western Kentucky, and I'm not knocking those schools in any way, shape, or form, but it's Tennessee. They need to be going after the same kids that Georgia's going after in Alabama. That's not been the case, but now it is the case. And case in point, you're going to head-to-head against Bama, Florida, Georgia, LSU, Ohio State, et cetera, including this kid out of Butler, Georgia. Tell me about this running back.
Well, Tennessee lost a running back this week, and it was felt that he wanted to play in the SEC. Tennessee offered him early. He took the commitment, but now his stock is rising, so he decommitted and will probably end up in one of the Florida schools. With that said,
but you're in on him though.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah,
Tennessee was in on him.
Right, but running backs to me, I go back to when Tony Thompson took Chuck Webb's place. I don't know if you remember that. Chuck Webb was to me the best running back probably at Tennessee. Other than maybe Jamal Lewis, but Webb was a great player, but he hurt his knee his junior year and was replaced by Tony Thompson, 5'7", 165 tailback. I mean, come on. He gained over 1,300 yards. Why? He had a huge offensive line. Those guys are all played in the NFL. That's what, to me, is the key. You have a great offensive line. You don't have to have a star running back. You got to have people who can block people. I mean, Leonard Fournette was great, but until he played Alabama. And then they shut him down because they beat his offensive line. You got to have blockers. You got to have the big hustlers up front, and you got to train them, and you got to have depth, and you have to rotate them, and you have to keep them fresh, and your running backs will do well. John Kelly was a 3-star, but watch what he does this year behind this offensive line that Tennessee's going to put on the field. I think he'll set some records. He'll get over 1,000 yards.
We're talking to Kevin Harmon. Let's talk recruiting. Let's talk Mays, Taylor, and Martinez for Tennessee football.
Well, those are 3 big guys, and the Martinez guys. Your quarterbacks come in early, and wide receivers want to play with them. Linemen want to block for them. Defensive guys know that this guy will get you in the end zone, so they want to play. So the quarterback position is key, and it's key that you get somebody early so that these other kids know the stability around it. And once quarterbacks commit, it's pretty hard to get them to decommit. And if they do, it really destabilizes your recruiting class. So big time get. When you have Kevin Mays, who was a 5-star offensive lineman, and Alante Taylor, the kid we saw out of Coffee County, 4-star wide receiver, and we know the kid can burn it. And these kids nowadays, social media is so big in recruiting, and these kids have just been wearing it out on social media and trying to get kids to come to Tennessee and sell the ball program. And they got the Lawless kid. It's really felt that they're going to get a couple of other big linemen out of Middle Tennessee. Master Teague is supposedly going to announce tomorrow. He's a running back out of Middle Tennessee, but it's felt that he'll go to Auburn or Georgia. But Tennessee is in his top 3. Lavarius Harris, the kid out of Georgia, actually won the Georgia State 100, 200 meter sprints. So Tennessee they've got a lot of good momentum built in recruiting, and it's felt, and I feel that the coaching staff that they have now, with Canales at the quarterback coach, Walt Wells, your lineman coach, Brady Hoke, Larry Scott, those guys are really turning the curve on recruiting. And I think what you'll see this fall, with what I can tell from Larry Scott and Walt Wells, is Tennessee is going to try to establish a physical presence up front and run the football. No more passing on 3rd and 1. They're going to try to, used to be when you had Bubba Miller and all these guys, Tennessee'd come to the line of scrimmage and you knew what they were going to do, and they'd still run it down your throat. And boy, I miss that brand of football from Tennessee. We haven't had it in a long, long time. And I think this year, the toughness and things that I see and read about Wells and Scott and what they believe in their philosophy, Tennessee's really going to try to pound the rock and run the football. And with Dormady with his arm, it's going to be a really nice 1-2 punch. So it's going to be a fun year to watch. A lot of new players. There'll be some growing pains. Hopefully we can get through the Georgia Tech game, and then our next big one will be the Florida game, in Gainesville. So that's going to be the first huge test for a lot of these kids. But the program, he's 5 years in, and this is I think he feels really comfortable now with his coaching staff. With the new kid, with Charlton Warren, Walt Wells, Brady Hoke, Larry Scott at coordinator. I just really feel that Jones has these guys are really hitting the recruiting shell hard. I think Tennessee's going to turn in a good class. It's just looking very good for the football team right now.
Talking to Kevin Harmon, UT Sports Update does this every Thursday. We're live again at Champion Chevrolet. Again, as Tim said, there's a couple of Silverados out here right now. Got to tell you about these because they have added another $1,000 off of these. 2017 Silverado 1500 double cab 4x4 All-Stars, saving $11,000 off of that truck. Also, the 2017 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab All-Star, again, 11. They've added another $1,000 to savings, or they whacked another $1,000 off of it, I guess. So you're saving $11,000 off these trucks. Also the Malibu LTs and LSs select models there are 25% off for a limited time here at Champion Chevrolet. The number one, I love saying that, number one Chevy dealer in the state. Nobody sells more vehicles. You stop and think, there's 50 dealerships, 51 in the state. We're talking Memphis, baby, Nashville, Knoxville, Chattanooga, right here in little old East Tennessee. They're flat wearing it out like a guy right over my shoulder. Can you see him back here? That would be the one, the only Tim Arnold. See him back there? Look at him, smiling. Can you see him? Yeah, see him on camera? He's right back there. He's hanging, taking a break here. He's been out watching. He's been walking all over the lot, and Jay's out there. We got traffic here, some foot traffic on the lot here, Champion. By the way, go to the website, championjc.com. Switching gears from football to Tennessee baseball. Big announcement there. What's going on?
Well, Serrano has stepped down.
You called this about 3 weeks ago.
Well, yeah, writing was on the wall. I don't know if I can take credit for it, but I mean, it was.
Whoa.
Tennessee's floundering.
This is my Tennessee correspondent. he comes in and says, Tom, Serrano's probably out here. His kids quit the team. He's probably going to be gone here by the end of the season, not before. Serrano steps down. You get props. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it just didn't work. He was like 65 and 115 against SEC competition in his 5-7 years here. You know, you got to go a different direction. But there was a good article that came out that says Tennessee, as a university, as an athletic department, also needs to commit to baseball and to upgrade the facilities and get it on par with the rest of the SEC. So we're not going to get a great coach until we can actually compete with the facilities and get some of these good players in here. You know, Serrano, you know, I don't know what the issue was. You know, he just didn't win. He just didn't win here, and it was very surprising to a lot of people. And he had a record that was worse than Todd Raleigh, who he replaced. There's a lot of names going out there. Chris Burt, former UT guy. Todd Helton's named on the list. You've got a couple former UT guys that, if that's great, because, you know, I mean, I bleed orange. I'd love to have a job at UT, you know, working in the athletic department. I'd work very hard because I love that school. And there is something to be said for that. But then again, you got to get the best coach that you can. And you have to also upgrade the facilities. And I'm hoping that Curry will do that.
So, okay, I'm going to ask an obvious question on that, follow-up what you're saying. So Lindsey Nelson Stadium is not a primo facility?
No, it's not.
Okay.
No.
I didn't know that.
I mean, it's not. It was there when I was there, but they never upgraded it. But it's not what Mississippi State has or LSU has. And plus the weight room and the facilities that these guys get to use and practice in. And, just don't have that in Knoxville. It'd be great if Knoxville would get back to Smokies. I think that's going to happen too. You know, and make it a baseball town again. We need that. I mean, Tennessee will support a winner. Nashville's proved that.
Yes.
I mean, you get a team there that works, and people will come out to watch. You know, but they have to be committed to it. I mean, Tennessee's athletic facilities in football are second to none, and it shows.
Talking to Kevin Harmon, a team that is producing and is successful, the Lady Vol softball team. They start the regional tomorrow against Longwood. The other side of the bracket is Ohio State and South Carolina Upstate. The Knoxville Regional for the NCAA softball tournament. So Lady Vol's got them at home, and you know, Longwood should be able to get them, but Ohio State could be a pretty good opponent.
Could be. They're second seed, and Tennessee knocked them out last year, and they were in the Knoxville Regional last year. The most exciting thing is that Tennessee got an 8th seed. You know, we lost in that first round, and I thought maybe we'd not drop to a 9 or a 10. But getting the 8th seed means that you can host the Super Regional, and they would play, if they do win and the other high seed team wins, they would play Texas A&M in Knoxville. But that bodes well because Tennessee plays very hard in Knoxville. So, you know, you want them to make it through. I hope we don't trip up and it's a double elimination tournament. They should get through Lockwood. USC Upstate won the Atlantic 10, or Atlantic Sun, the one ETSU used to be in. So, you know, Tennessee's got the horses. They can make the run. I don't know if they can win it all, but, you know, they had, Megan Gear got Player of the Year, and you've got 2 All-SEC freshmen, and you got 3 All-SEC players on their team. So Tennessee's got the horses. I mean, you know, it can be done. And I love to watch a good game of ladies softball because they play the game the way it should be played.
Tennessee 44-10. They play tomorrow night against Longwood at 28-27. Mm-hmm. Then Ohio State at 35-16. The Lady Buckeyes play that first game against South Carolina Upstate, who is 44-11. And Kevin's right. The College Station champion will take on the Knoxville champion in the Super Regional starting on the 25th. The College Station foursome will be Texas, Texas State, Texas Southern, and the Lady Aggies from Texas A&M. And so those are the 4 teams in the College Station Regional. But first things first, it's Longwood tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, and that'll be, of course, in Knoxville.
On ESPN2.
On ESPN2 in Knoxville. Again, for the Lady Vols. Again, the first game, Ohio State, South Carolina Upstate, and then Longwood and Tennessee in the nightcap. And, of course, winners move on. As you heard him say, it is double elimination. So, again, that's softball, so good luck to the Lady Vols softball team. And then you look at basketball. What's going on right now with the Lady Vols and the guys team?
Well, Lady Vols lost Tia Cooper. I think she sort of saw the handwriting on the wall with the players coming in. Her playing, I don't know how much her injury has limited her going forward. She hasn't really kind of tipped her hand to where she's going to transfer to. I would suggest I would think that it's going to be sort of a drop down in competition from what she has at Tennessee. But, you know, we wish her well. I hope she does great. I lost my train of thought. Can you believe that?
Lady Vols.
Lady Vols, yeah. You know, so it's a big year for the Lady Vols. I mean, Curry went out and got rid of the swim coach, or the tennis coach, who got Tennessee to a couple of NCAA bids and made the Final Four and done some good things, but he slipped the last 3 years and he's got fired. And you wonder about Holly Warlick. I'd love to see her succeed here. She's Pat Summitt's choice. Tough shoes to fill. But next year there really is no excuse. We've got DeShields and Mercedes Russell back. You got these, you got two of the top players in the country coming in. Freshmen make a huge impact in that sport, just like they do at the men's level. Tough year. It's going to be a deciding year, I believe. I think Coach Curry will make a move if we just flounder again like we did. Basketball is a tournament sport, and Holly's done well in the tournaments. So, but we haven't exceeded expectations at all like we used to do with Pat Summitt.
Yep.
And still, it's a flagship program we cannot allow to become
middle of
the pack. We just can't do it. I mean, we are women's basketball. Us now UConn, but it wouldn't be a UConn if it wasn't for Tennessee. So UConn people will probably spit at that, but so be it. Pat Summitt doesn't play them; they don't get to where they are.
And of course, Coach Summitt's gone, obviously, as we all know. So I think it reached the point now it's no longer personal. It's business. Curry, I mean, he's got ties here, obviously, but still, the betterment of the program. Pat Summitt is gone. You got to win. You can only ride that. Well, she's Summitt's hand-picked person for so long, because at the end of the day, you got to produce. You got to get some X's, or not X's. You got to get some wins and
we
and
set
some
too many
championships.
firsts this year. Losing at home to teams we've never lost to. I mean, you're going to lose eventually, but we set a lot of firsts this year. Losing so many games in a row, finishing 6th in the conference. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
There you go. And then last but not least, he wants to talk about the Preds, because they're skating tonight against the Anaheim Ducks. And
how about them?
Probably be a full house. If you've seen any of the highlights of the arena in Nashville, that place is bonkers.
126 on the decibel reading.
They go nuts. It's amazing.
Tennessee's record is 115 at Neyland. 126 at an enclosed stadium, that's pretty loud.
Yeah.
That's a jet taking off.
Place is nuts.
That's Thunder Valley times 2.
Sure, it's the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going bananas from the time they come out on the
they're
ice.
from 116 to 125 the whole game. When they scored that game-winning goal, which turned out to be the game-winning goal with like 2 minutes to go on the power play, it got to 126. And I was at that Oklahoma game when it got to 115. Chris is next to me, and we couldn't hear each other talk. It was that loud, and that's open air.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine being at 126 in a closed arena? I mean, it's just you have to put your hands on your ears. I mean, that's just great, and players, and to think that players don't feed off that, it's just insane to think.
Sure,
if you're there and you can't even talk on the ice, and the people are pulling for you that hard, I mean, it puts chill bumps up and down your spine, and you skate harder, and just golly, I mean, I don't want to jinx them, but imagine if they can bring the Stanley Cup championship
to
Nashville.
Yeah.
Titans came close to the Super Bowl one time. The Volunteers have won the championship. Lady Vols won quite a bit, but nothing's quite like the Stanley Cup, especially the playoffs.
There you go.
I've become a hockey fan. I'm a bandwagon fan, I'll admit it, but I want to see them win. I want to see them win.
His ball cap says Century 21 Legacy. Did you say you got an offer just while you were
I got
there?
an offer accepted today, so it's
there you go.
It was a fun. I'm glad I made it here, because we had to get it under the bell. You always want to beat the next guy, and you never really know what's out there. You just push to get it done. And a couple I've worked with, a really great couple, and they bought a whitewater business in Hartford, Tennessee, called Rip Roaring Adventures. So if you want to go whitewater rafting, Joe Novotny, he's the owner, and his wife Crystal, and they both own it, and he is the 5-star guide.
We need to get him on the show.
Yeah.
Seriously,
we can get him up here. Yeah,
call him a phone.
Yeah,
put him on the phone.
Yeah, we'll do that.
We're going to do that.
We're going to do that.
I love whitewater rafting.
He is the best. He's such a great guy, and they have an open house this weekend down. It's just outside of Newport, right there at Smokies. It's where all the whitewater businesses are. They're called Rip Roaring Adventures, and this Saturday they have a an open house of sorts from 4 to 6 to 7 o'clock. They're going to have barbecue and everything's free, bands, stuff like that. And this is sort of kick off the summer because Memorial Day sort of kicks off the rafting. And with all the rain, he says, and they dump the water on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and sometimes on Saturday. So you got the river is up, the rafting is really good, and I know Joe, and I can't imagine going down the river with anybody else. He's a 5-star guy, and he learned and cut his teeth on the Colorado River through the Grand Canyon. So
he knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing.
Ain't his first rodeo.
And no. You don't get to be a 5-star guide by walking across Knob Creek. I mean, so.
There's only one Kevin.
Yeah.
All right. Back next week?
I'm back next week.
All right. Congratulations on an offer.
Thank you, sir.
Guy's made a career change. Here's living proof. Out of necessity, he had to make a career change, and he's done it and been very successful. So they say, well,
so far so good.
At my age, whatever your age is out there watching, listening, I can't. Yeah.
I'm 60.
Here's living proof. Are you really?
Yeah. No, I'm 59. I say 60, so it'll soften the blow when I get there. And I'm just about a month older than you because you just had a birthday.
Yeah, I did. I'm 43. So.
Yeah. I know why you said that, but yeah, you're close.
Yeah, I'm flirting. I'm flirting with a big 6-0. That's okay.
Yeah.
Well,
and next year we'll sip some Geritol and turn 60
cool
together.
Even the little people told me this other day. Said they don't know if any other granddad still goes off the high dive doing can openers. Yeah, I'm still doing the high dive.
Yeah.
Going off the high dive, baby.
I refereed a ball game the other night, and the guy was 54 years old. You should have seen him run down his fly ball. And when they told me he was 54, I was like, no way. And I just shook his hand coming in and said, man, that's just awesome.
Yep, there you
go.
Awesome. Age is purely a number, my friends, I can tell you.
Sort of,
and if you got your health, let me say this in closing. He can tell you this. If you got your health, I don't care how much money you got in the bank. If you got your health, you are 99% far and away better than most people that are out there sick. Still go back. I say this every time I hear Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, who we lost to cancer. She said in one of her interviews I saw on TV, she said, I have all this money, and she was loaded. She's married to the Kennedy, of course, Onassis, and she said, none of this money will get my health back. She said, if you have your health, you are far and away better off than any amount of money you have in the bank.
Right.
And I agree with it. So he's going to go close the home, and I'm going to go on down the trail and hang out and get me something to eat at Phil's Dream Pit, and go off the high dive when the pool's open in a couple of weeks. So there you go. Hey, we're out of time. You done?
I'm done.
I like how you keep that right there. That's very nice. He's my prop.
It's kind of like a security blanket now. I feel invincible. Somebody can walk in the door, and I'm
it's a shield.
Yeah.
There you go. Put that shield up. Tom Dyer Sports Show sealed up. Seal up. Shield up.
Shield.
Yeah, you got me excited. Got me nervous. All right. Say goodbye, Dad.
Goodbye, Dad.
There you go. Tom Taylor Sports Show. Again, we appreciate him very much. Kevin Harmon, again, that's going to do it from here. Big thank you, as always, to Champion Chevrolet. And, of course, our guest, Ryan Presnell, head baseball coach of the Elizabethton Cyclones. We travel tomorrow with the Cyclones to Pigeon Forge. Again, they're 21 outs away from a state tournament appearance. We'll see if we can do that tomorrow night in Pigeon Forge. Also, Ken Harden, the lady softball coach from Elizabethton, hosting Union County tomorrow night for the same right to go as the guys to go to the state tournament next week in softball. And so thanks for him being our guest. Carmichael with the Johnson City Parks and Rec. Ryan Wagner, head baseball coach of Dobbins Bennett, thank you. And, of course, Kevin Harmon, thank you. And also Chris Van Dyke, the late model NASCAR driver, stopped by for a few minutes. He is in person as we speak from noon to 6 right up the road at Food City in Piney Flats. Got his car there, signing autographs. His wife Erica's there, so it's a good time up there again. We appreciate them very much. So all of our guests, and of course certainly Andy No-Show Dietrich and Tim Copenhaver. And so they'll be back. Andy's out on assignment. He'll be back next week. And so thanks to Tim and Andy for letting us come and be here at Champion Chevrolet. We're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours until tomorrow at 11 o'clock from Food City, again on the Volunteer Parkway in Bristol. We get ready for the Midnight Madness sale. For all the folks, again, we will tell you, again, thank you for giving us a listen. Show number 521 in the books. And until we greet you tomorrow from 11 o'clock, again, at the Volunteer Parkway, Food City for the Midnight Madness sale, we will tell you, as always, win or lose, be a good sport. So long, everybody.